Hello Internet and welcome to This Day in History for the 21st of November. After the last few days, I think I will be excused if I go for a little bit shorter and easier one today, especially since the last few days have been quite emotional to actually shoot, especially since I'm doing these in blocks. But today I'm going to do what I've done a couple of times before and take various events in various years that all happened on the same day but are somehow connected, and this particular day I'm going to take rather spectacular technological and scientific discoveries and developments that all occurred on the 21st of November. Now, we start in 1676, where Ole Rømer, a Danish astronomer and physicist I believe I have already spoken about in this series, first presented his quantitative measurements of the speed of light. This was, as you can imagine, a fairly significant discovery, especially in modern day astronomy. Where would we be without the concept of speed of light in astronomy and physics? And it was today, 340 odd years ago, that Ole Rømer thus presented it and laid the groundwork for, well, almost all further kind of anything to do with astronomy and physics that has to do with outer space. So a very important discovery made by Mr. Rømer there. Going forward, we hit 1877, and it was on this day in 1877 that Thomas Alva Edison announced his invention of the phonograph, a machine that can record and play sound. Now, I very much doubt that since all of you are in fact listening to this on a machine that can record and play sound, that I need to explain to anyone just how important this invention was. There was the slight tiny bit of problem, of course, that at this point in time when Thomas Edison took the patent, he didn't actually quite have the machine, working yet, but those were minor details, and he was certain that he would eventually work out the kinks, which of course he did, and through that of course laid the groundwork for, well, every kind of modern day mass media, not printed in a newspaper basically. Everything from television through radio through everything starts with the phonograph of Thomas Edison, the first machine that could actually reliably record and play back sound without too much hassle. Moving hastily forward until the year 1905, it was on this day in history that in a German scientific journal named Annalen der Physik, that a certain Albert Einstein published the research paper that outlined, at least in principle, his ideas for the general theory of relativity that would eventually develop into the concept of E equals mc squared, probably with the possible exception of Pythagoras triangle calculations, the one scientific concept and formula that literally every single human being, at least in the West, will have some kind of understanding of. Even if they don't actually understand it, then at least have some kind of understanding of its meaning. Of course, it basically meant that up until the development of quantum mechanics later, or at least our grasping at the idea of quantum mechanics later, it was and remains the foundation for practically all modern day physics. So, to a certain degree, following up on Ole Rømer's work, today was the publishment of what eventually became the theory of relativity. And finally, ending our little time travel in the year of our Lord, if you are religious, or just the year of our calendar, 1969, it was in this day in history that the first Arpanet complete and permanent connection between SRI International and UCLA came into being. And if the phonograph was important for you even being able to listen to this particular video, how can you deny the importance of the internet? Yes, I know there is quite a bit of a step between the earliest Arpanet in 1969 and the internet we have today. If nothing else, Mr. Tim Berners Lee did not live in vain, but I don't suppose I have to tell any of you about the importance of the development of the internet and its history. So yes, 4 super important scientific and technological discoveries made on this day in history, the 21st of November. The discovery of the speed of light, the invention of the phonograph, the development of the theory of relativity, and the creation of the baby parts of the internet. I hope this has been of interest to you. Until next time, I have been the Sage, and I wish you all a very happy day.